Welcome back to Toe the Line. Joining me today, making his third entry into the BKB ring on September 16th at BKB 34. It's George HitHard Hillyard. George, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
That's all right. It's been a little while since we've seen you. We were meant to see you at the BYB show. We didn't. Talk me through what happened there.
Yeah, it was quite disappointing for a lot of people, really. So basically, a week before um, the BYB fight, I pulled a muscle in my back, and we thought it was a slip disc. So we went to the Rivers, and they did an X-ray on us, and it proved that I had a torn muscle. Don't ask me to pronounce the muscle, but it was the muscle on my right side of my spine. So yeah, it was just pulling out of a fight and letting a lot of people down. And obviously Jim and Joe weren't happy. So it was yeah, yeah. And let some of the boys down as well.
Yeah, it must have been pretty gutting, especially when you've put in like all that work for it and
Just
so close to fight night.
just that as well. And I lost a lot of sponsors in that as well. So all my sponsors we had to give everything back, all money back, and yeah, so yeah, we lost thousands in the end.
What about now? Are you all good now?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, back on track, training, just keeping myself on the instead of putting everything over social media all the time. Um, yeah, I'm trying to keep things a little bit like low key, if that makes sense. Just work on the quiet. If you know, instead of being in everyone's faces all the time. And yeah, so I'm trying to I'm just cracking on.
Yeah. How's it been kind of getting back into training after kind of like, you spend weeks preparing up to this night, it doesn't happen, and then, you got to start from not from zero, but you got to start
Yeah,
training again. How do you get
yeah.
back into that?
It was hard first of all, especially because when I first started training again, I thought, do you know what? I'll just try and go for a little run, and the pounding on my on the pavements, it was just not happening. So we went to the gym and they just put me on the hill, and I had to walk up a hill for half hour just to get my body back in the motion of training again. So yeah, it was the first couple of weeks were a little bit difficult, but we're slowly coming out on the other side of that now. So 4 weeks on Saturday, and we'll be able to showcase my talent again.
Yeah. How's your training going for this then? Like, is there anything different you're doing, or is it just kind of trusting the process?
No, no, nothing's different in training. I just always train hard. So um, people think, oh, because I ain't got a six pack and things like that, they think, oh, you don't train. But you know, what I mean, six packs don't mean you fight. So and I prove that over and over again. It's just grafting, just keeping my head, as I keep saying, just keeping my head down and grafting. So and putting the hard work in behind closed doors.
Yeah. Is that kind of like maybe like a strategy kind of thing, like making it so your opponent can't see what you're doing? Is that kind of the thinking?
No, because not really. Because what is the reason? The truth is that the reason I've stopped so much about social media is I'm getting a lot of people being, oh, all you talk about is boxing, fighting, and you don't ever want to come and see no one, but you want everyone to come and watch you fight. And it's like, oh wow, it's like, didn't expect that one. So yeah, it's just yeah. So I don't want to keep rubbing everything in everyone's faces all the time, if that makes sense. So
Mm.
and then I get it in the ear of from Jim and Joe saying, "Can you start picking up the ticket sales?" And it's like, wow, it's like I'm 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 a big ticket seller, and on these shows, I've not been a big ticket seller. So yeah, it's a difficult one.
Yeah, because I suppose like like when fighting is your life, that's what you do. Like, what else is there to kind of talk about? People complaining about a boxer posting about boxing is seems like a weird thing
Yeah,
to say, isn't it?
yeah. So yeah, I didn't know what to say to it, to be honest with you, but as me and the wife we sit here and speak, and she's like, maybe just stop putting stuff over social media, just. But it's an hard one. So you're trying to put your name out there, but then it's the negative feedback you're getting. And with me, I bite at a lot of things. So either I don't put it up, or I put it up, and if someone makes a comment about it, I'll kick off about it as well. So do you know, there's no win-win, no win or no win-win for no one here, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like you can't do anything right.
Yeah,
Someone's always
yeah,
gonna say something, you know what I mean?
yeah, totally, yeah, totally. Pretty much like the last fight when obviously I pulled out the week before, and then I didn't, because I don't look on people's social media. I don't flick. I'm not one of these flicking through it, and so this person commented and said he found out, George Hilliard found out how Robert Cerner is one of the best in the world. That's why he bottled it and pulled out. So all I did was reply to it and said, listen here, when my back's in a better, we're feeling better, sorry, I'll fight you and Robert Cerner on the same night, you effing, right, and with something else. And everyone was like, whoa, slow down, he's only 17. I was like, I can't. So I looked at his wall, and he's a kid. He's an American kid. Don't get me wrong, he looks older than me, but he's only 17. And I was just like, I can't win here. So yeah, it's just either keep your mouth shut, which I prefer to do now, and just yeah, because trying to sell yourself is you. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's a difficult process, isn't it? Because it's like,
Yeah,
there's so many things that can go wrong, and like when you do kind of make a slip up, it's public. There's no
yeah,
taking it back. Like people have seen it.
totally.
It's one of those
Yeah,
things about social media,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. That's you can't live with it. You can't live without it, but and you can't kind of live with it, if that makes sense. But you do kind of need it. Like, as much as it's a good thing, it's also a bad thing. So yeah, but it is a great tool to have.
Yeah. Going back to that BYB fight, because you were there on the night, weren't you? You know,
Yes,
you
I went
watched the
there.
event. How was it like? Was it kind of a bit weird just watching it happen?
I met. I don't know if I should be saying this, but I messaged Jim and Joe up straight after the fight. Well, I think it was during the fight, and obviously, I think they're still a bit upset with me. So their answers were just one-liners, just like okay, 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 like thumbs up. That was just yeah. So, but I was like, please, if you can get me in on my next fight like this fight, then please, can you get it? And they were like, oh, it won't happen like that. You've missed that boat. And I was like, so yeah, so I've just got to back to square one and just keep working hard, and obviously I've got he's from the Philippines, isn't he?
Hmm. I
Yeah.
think so.
So
Or at least he fights in the Philippines.
yeah, but he's a tough cookie, and obviously a kickboxing world champion, and he won a world title in the MMA as well. So he knows what he's doing, and he ain't. I'm just glad kicking ain't involved.
Yeah, let's talk a
Um,
little bit about your opponent, Ronaldo Dai. He's very experienced fighter across multiple disciplines. You know,
yeah,
MMA, boxing, kickboxing. He's ex UFC. He's fought bare knuckle before as well. Although this is his BKB debut.
yeah.
So, as the benefit of that is that there's a lot of tape of him. You can see how he fights. Have you done much research? You know, what do you make of him as an opponent?
Um, I haven't done much research on him just yet. Especially, the only fight I have seen of him is the one in the MMA when he knocked the fella out. So yeah, but I try not to watch too much of my opponents. I don't get me wrong, I have watched his MMA fight, but that's all I needed to watch. And but uh, all the Philippine fighters, mate, they're all tough as nails, and they come to They don't care. But this fight could be in a telephone box. They all come to fight. So, and he's been putting stuff over my social media as well. He's been very polite. Nothing very. He's not been like Jack McLean. He's been a complete different. But yeah, he's been very professional and very respectful. So I've got nothing but respect to back to him. So yeah, so may long this be a really entertaining fight, which I think it's going to be. So I think everyone's in for a little storm here. I know everyone's going to be talking about the main event, Ishmael Smith and Dan Chapman, but that's going to be a humdinger. But I think our one may just top it.
Yeah, like that's the funny thing is about like all of the fighters about from that part of the world is like they're super nice, they're super polite, but they're killers. Like as soon as
Yeah,
they're in the ring, like something switches in them, right?
yeah, totally, mate, totally. And I've trained with a hell of a lot of them. So especially down St Pancras Amateur Boxing Club, and we had one man called Tiger, and he's only about 5'5", not very big. Wow, he made up for that size in so many ways. Yeah, he's absolute animal, should we say?
Yeah.
So, but once again, it's I've got my work cut out. This ain't no yeah, I can't see this being a boxing match. It can't it I think he's only 5'7", is he?
Yeah, I
So
think yeah, it's he's 5'8", he's 5'8", so
5'8". So I'm actually fighting someone. I'm an inch taller than him. So I'm actually fighting someone that is actually I'm taller than, which is very rare. So yeah, it's going to be. None of us are going to be running. That's for sure. So as I said, just thank God kicking ain't involved.
yeah. There's something about this fight which feels a little bit different from the other fights you've had in BKB, and that's no disrespect to your past opponents, but
Yeah. No,
this feels like almost like a step up for you.
oh, this is a massive step up. Yeah, totally, totally. This is just like the American one, Robert Cerner. That was a massive, but obviously me pulling my back and yeah, me not fighting was a massive letdown for a lot of people involved. So, and I think a lot of people were expecting big things from me that night, and yeah, so now I'm here to correct it all and hopefully get back in the good books of everyone.
Yeah, because there's almost kind of like I don't know what the word is, but the word like redemption maybe. Like there's like this kind of like yeah, getting back in everyone's good books, showing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that you know
yeah,
you're not ducking, you're not scared. Like I'm not saying you
yeah,
are, but you know people might be
yeah, yeah,
saying thinking
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and
yeah. No, but that is what everyone is thinking, and it's just like, so that's why I was like, Jim, Joe, please get him for this show, and I was like, it don't work like that, and then Jim just said to me, "You've missed the boat." You know what I mean? I was like, gutted. So here I am starting again. So, and this is what we've got to do. So I'm expecting probably my hardest fight to date, and I'll be ready. We've got 4 weeks on Saturday, and yeah, so it's showtime.
yeah, and this feels kind of like the perfect opportunity to kind of you know for that opportunity for redemption because like I said, this is like a huge step up. You know, this is a big fight. This guy's like very experienced, a very experienced fighter, just like yourself. And there's a kind of like an unknown element with this guy because we haven't seen him in BKB before. He fights across multiple disciplines. He brings different things to each discipline. So you know, there's kind of like a bit of mystery in how he's going to come out, isn't there?
Yeah, totally, totally. What you got to remember is he he's got his pedigree of so many different mixed martial arts is way beyond what I've done, and I'm an experienced fighter. and he's like maybe a little 2-3 steps above me. So this is a chance for me to prove just how good I am. I
Yeah,
remember also, he's a BKB fighter. He's signed with BKB. So, and I'm not. So, and hopefully after this, Jim and Joe maybe want to do something where we do something long term. But we'll see. I'm committed to BKB now, and this is where I want to be. And yeah, so hopefully after this fight, something good can happen.
yeah, because there is quite not a lot of riding on it, but I mean, like there is an important consideration in terms of getting favors not only with fans but also with sponsors, back with the promoters as well,
Yeah,
and
totally. Yeah,
like it's
totally.
going to dictate kind of where you go next in BKB, isn't it?
Yeah, no, totally. But this is like make or break moment for me. So, and that's what we all thrive off that. So I'm in the mood for it. So listen, you're gonna see the best of me on that night.
Yeah. What can we expect to see? Specifically, what have you been working on?
Uh, all I work on is just working on my fitness and hard. Just as long as I train hard, fighting for me is fighting is the easiest part for me to do. Everyone knows I can fight. It's just turning up in the right condition, not cutting no corners. So, and that's look, as you can see, I'm in a lot better condition than I used to be when in previous interviews you've done with me. When I used to have a round face, now I've got a nice chiseled face. So yeah, so we're in a better place now, and all things are going in the right direction. So that's what we want.
Yeah, and when you talk about putting in the work, putting in the hard work, what does that look like? What is that routine like?
Basically, living in the gym. So like, I don't even see the misses at the moment. So either I'm going to work, like this morning at 4 o'clock this morning, I was up, out for a run, done my run, come indoors, bath and showered, and then I'm going to work at 5 or 5:15. So it's and then I finish here, I'm doing this interview, and I'm straight to the gym. So it's but it'll all be worthwhile.
Yeah, I guess you kind of have to have your sights on the end goal, otherwise that kind of process feels, don't know, like
Yeah, totally.
yeah, because it's like that. It's a hard graph, isn't it? Like being a fighter, especially working as well. It has to be a lot of commitment and drive. What keeps you going? Is it just tunnel vision on that end goal then?
Yeah, it's exactly that. Exactly that. It's look, I haven't got that luxury like I used to have, where I trained, um, where I had plenty of money in the bank, where I was training full time. I haven't got that luxury at the moment, so I have to go out and graft and do what, as we say, real men have to do. So yeah, but I'm enjoying it, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to putting a show on and getting my name back out there and showing people that this is what I'm about. I ain't, what happened last time was a freak accident. I did it over a Ricky Hatton bar, the Ricky Hatton jumping bar.
Mm.
So I was jumping that and I landed funny on it, and yeah, and so that we don't even normally do, and something we're pretty good at, ended up messing us up. So, but here we are again. And listen, we're on the 16th. We'll see the best George.
When you are training, following getting injured, is there kind of like a bit of trepidation when you're training or certain stuff? Don't want to get injured again.
Yeah, totally. So everything has been like, even with when I do my personal training, like when I train clients, I don't do the workouts with them now, because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, if I pull out of this fight, then they go, oh, do you know what I mean? It's gonna. I don't even worry about working with us no more, George. So it's just about doing everything where in moderation, if that makes sense. So I don't overdo it. I'm doing just enough, just to, yeah. So yeah, just doing enough to just keep it all on the line.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, how do you get past that kind of mental barrier, and kind of like, because you do have to push yourself as a boxer as well. You know, then
Yeah,
there must be that kind of like that mental barrier. Is like, oh, maybe I don't want to push too hard, or
yeah.
but you know, that is something
But
you
like,
have to do, isn't it?
it was like after when I had about 3 weeks off, and I thought, oh, my back feels quite better, yeah. So I thought I'm just gonna go for a run, and I went for a run, and it was just the pounding off the road. It just weren't happening. So the next minute I'm doing a 5 mile run, but I'm walking it, and the pain I was in was horrific. And I was just like, this ain't a torn muscle, right? So we go back to the hospital, but there was just like, I think I was even peeing them off a bit. So I was just like, Mr. Hilliard, there's nothing you can do. It's a torn muscle. So I was like, well, how long is this going to take? And she's like, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. I was just like, she was like, basically telling me how long's a bit of string. And I was just like, not the answers I wanted. So it's just like, it heals when your body's prepared to heal. So don't, she was like telling me, she gave me exercises, little exercises to do. And like, they've all worked at the moment. So I'm just, yeah. But listen, we'll see what I'm about on the 16th of September.
How's your physical state now? Are you feeling all fit, feeling all good?
Yeah, I'm feeling, obviously I've got 7 pounds to still go. But sorry, 9 pounds to still go. Yeah, I'm listen, my fitness is never the issue. My fitness is never ever the issue. I mean, I could box in my sleep. I'm naturally gifted at that. My problem's always been like putting too much weight on prior to fights. So yeah, mine's about just about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Basically, eating like my wife eats, where she don't eat rubbish, and I do the rubbish eating for her. So yeah, it's just basically following the same pattern as she does.
Yeah. Are you all on track to make weight then? All good
Oh
that side, yeah.
yeah, we will be. I mean, so everything could be okay for this, mate. So hard fight. So I'm looking forward to it, and that's what drives you on, isn't it? That's what gives you the. I've got to get up here. I mean, this is I've got to pull this out of the bag now. So, and I will do.
Yeah, because you know, with so much riding on it, especially with this caliber of opponent as well, that must give you an extra kick, an extra drive to work
Yeah,
harder.
totally, totally. This is, and this is what the show is about. Is about me. I know everyone's talking about the Mayweather boys coming over fighting Dan Chapman, but I guarantee you, and without it being disrespectful, they'll be talking about me when they go home, saying, "Did you watch that fight? Did you watch?" You know what I mean?
What can the fans expect to see from you?
Action, action. This, this ain't a fight that you can try and like. We're both gonna have to. We're both gonna have to take heavy shots. You know what I mean? So and you will see the best me. I really believe you will see the best me.
Well, I think that's a good place to end. That's George Hilliard. He's fighting September 16th at BKB 34. Cheers, George.
You're welcome, mate. Thank you for having me.